Hello and welcome to San Diego State University for this Division 1A Round 1 playoff clash between University of Utah Utes and the home side, San Diego State University. I'm joined in the commentary booth by Charlie Purden. How you doing, mate?
Very well, thank you.
There seems to be two really evenly matched sides, arguably probably the closest matchup of this playoff. You've seen a couple of the San Diego State games. How do they play this season so far?
Yeah, I think they've had a pretty good season. They're pretty fresh off a nice away trip to Georgia, and then a good win last weekend against Cal Poly Slow. So I think they got a buzz. I think they're excited for this game, and should be a goodie.
Excellent. With a slight 45-minute delay at kickoff, we've got our teams out in the pitch. I'm going to bring you through the starting lineup. First of all, for San Diego State, in the front row, we've got Aguilera, Abdullah and Gil Covey. Up there in the second row, we've got a pair of brothers, Patrick and Ryan Walls. In the back row, very strong mobile back row for San Diego State University. Kevin McGlone, Jonathan Raby and Jake Georgestad. Oh, looks like he was taken in the air there off the restart. It'll be a penalty straight away for San Diego State as we continue on through the San Diego State lineup. Esmat Wardock at 9. He's a converted back rower, so don't expect a traditional non-physicality from that 9. He'll be getting involved today. Pulling the strings at 10 is Austin Schweitzer, and bringing you to the wingers, we've got Jacob Zinda and Gonzalez. In the center, very strong pair between Harrison Barkham and Nick Lupien, who's been playing here for 3 years so far. And back at the rear, fleet-footed Ari Fink, following in the footsteps of two former San Diego State players who have played a lot of sevens, Alex Ross and Stephen Thomason, who's over in Singapore at the moment with the USA Sevens. First set piece of the day coming in, goes over the top. And it looks like they're going to bring it back from a crooked throw. There is a little bit of a wind today, so maybe we can not cast out the judgments quite yet, but it will be a scrum down to the Utah Utes. What should be on the agenda here for the Utah Utes? They've got a scrum halfway line. What should they be looking at here towards the start of the game? Wind at their backs.
Yeah, I think they're going to try and get into the corners. They got the wind behind them. Try and put San Diego State under pressure early on. Keep them stuck in their half.
Fly half Weber for the Utah Utes here. He might look to ping it to the corner at the start, gain a bit of territory. They look to attack in the midfield, but it's gone backwards. There's a lot of pressure on here from Zinda, and it's a great tackle from Austin Schweitzer, and they're really on the back foot here now, Utah, at the start of the game. Great launch and up call from San Diego State, and it's a great tackle made, and it looks like it's a knock-on as well. Lovely piece of defensive pressure there from San Diego State. They look really up for this game, Charlie.
Yeah, you can see the intent there. I think they're pretty pumped, and the 45-minute wait for the ref to arrive definitely have them on their toes.
They don't seem to have lost any enthusiasm at all. We've got a scrum down in the middle of the pitch here. Really good attacking situation for any of these outside backs. If you look how they're lining up, they're going 3 and 3. Options on left and right. What are we thinking here, Charlie?
I'd take the right hand blind, depending on what shoulder you get. Yep.
Wardock brings it to outside to Barkham, and it's fleet-footed. Ari Fink down the outside, takes a step off his right and a fend with his left hand. And it looks like there's no release of the breakdown, so there will be a penalty just outside the 22. First really bit of decision-making here. Will they go for post or tap it to the corner? And it looks like they've elected to go to the corner.
Very aggressive. I love it. Very
aggressive tactic for the start of the game. To get some points on the board at the start would be phenomenal for this San Diego State outfit. Line out from Jabi Abdullah does not go to hand. It's recovered by the Utah Utes. They'll look to maybe box kick it out of their own 22 or get an exit. Big runner in the forward there coming up. That's Chad Goff. Again, great defensive setup by San Diego State. And it's slow ball here, so there will be a lot of pressure on the 10. But the referee's going to bring it back here for a knock-on.
Yeah, it's the second line-out that San Diego State have botched, which isn't a very good start. So I think they need to sort out that set piece.
Yeah, I think in playoff rugby like this, your set piece can be such an important aspect of the game. You don't hit your lineouts, you don't win your scrums, you're really not going anywhere.
Absolutely.
Ball come in from Utah Utes scrum half Hoff. But it's a collapse. We're going to reset. Plenty of support here for San Diego State down at the grass field. Lovely area campus. And they'll go again to the front row. First couple of scrums, the front row is really feeling each other out. Looks like he's got a little bit of a tight head against the head now. Comes out to Austin Schweitzer. Spins it wide to Nick Lupini. Puts an angle and a fend on. And he's gone through all the way. Fantastic running and a really great individual effort from Nick Lupin. And that's the first score on the board here for San Diego State. Charlie, with the turnover, the scrum, really good opportunity, but he's taken it well there. He had a lot to do, didn't he?
Yeah, they tried to get away from the contact point as quick as they could, which was brilliant. And then just awesome finish there. Great fend, and maybe it was away.
Yeah, great individual effort. It was a tidy pass from 10, Austin Schweitzer, to get it into those wide angles straight away. You could see the Utah backs just taking their eyes on those outside winger. The Ari Fink on the outside, and the winger just gave that little bit of space for centre. And of course, he's put the fend on and got a great try and got it rolling here, 5-0 to San Diego State.
Great finish in the sandpit there.
It'll be Harrison Barkham looking to add the extra 2 points here for San Diego State. And that's a good nudge, and he's added the extra 2. It's 7-0 here at the start of the game. Fly half Weber with the restart. If you'll remember, our first restart of the game was a tackle in the air, which led to a penalty and brought San Diego State all the way back to the pitch. They're not doing that this time. They're going to go deep and look to get their defense involved here. (12 and 13) nominating off for Utah Youth. Salazar and Papunu, two big lads. And it's right down the middle for a clearance. But it looks like we've got an offside penalty to San Diego State. And again, they'll have a really easy opportunity to relieve pressure here. That's 2 penalties in the last 2 times that Utah have been in the San Diego State half. Really, really unacceptable from their standpoint, Charlie, yeah?
Yeah, they've got to watch their discipline early on, especially being a playoff game. I think that was a very lucky let-out for State, considering that pass from the halfback. But let's see if they can get their line out right this time.
Barkham brings it up to San Diego State's own 10-meter line. And again, they'll probably look to tap it forward, get over the gain line, and then get some of those fast exterior backs into the play.
Made great turnout for an Easter weekend.
It is good, yeah. And our third line of the day does go to hand. It's a little bit of a grounder to 10. But again, those big back rows will look to pump it up over the gain line. But he's met really, really well by the Utah centres. And it's back foot ball now, but he looked to spin it out the back. Ari Fink shows a little show and go. And we're up over the gain line. That's great play. And the ref's going to give it for the high tackle. That's the 4th penalty of the day for the Utah Youth. They're really killing themselves here. And Barkman looked to get us further up the pitch.
Yeah, ref was quick to call that one. Obviously, new rules. The refs are looking out for anything above the shoulders. So I think Utah once again need to watch their discipline there.
And talk to me about that, Charlie. So it's a new rule this year, or really more so it's just a focusing on the current rule a little bit more,
There's definitely more focus, impetus on watching, the safety and the tackle.
Going to long to the 6 yard. That's an excellent dart from the line out. And they look to tap it up to the centres again. Jake Jorstad with the big tackle. They're numbering off on him. He's been to a collegiate All-American camp there, so they know that he's a big, strong ball carrier. Again, Ari Flink getting involved. He's jammed at the gain line this time. And Utah look to have a big launch here in midfield.
Great tip.
Great tap there to one of the Wells brothers. He carries well. And they've split the pitch here, and they're going to reverse it back to the short side. Nick Lupien, the try scorer, has a great carry up the outside, but the offload doesn't go to hand. And Utah will have an opportunity of possession in the San Diego State half. That's a good little period of play, although they didn't get over the gain line there. You can see that their intent is to move the ball. Utah arguably have maybe the bigger pack here. Is that something that San Diego State will look to do?
Yeah, I think their attacking maps are pretty good. They're getting into position early. I think they're just standing so deep. that Utah are catching them behind the gain line.
So it's giving the Utah youths just a chance to launch on them there.
Yes, sir.
That's a great line out from Utah. That's a big number 8 there.
Great carry.
Rufflin with a fantastic carry, maybe 20 meters. Comes out to the 10, Weber. He taps it onto his prop. It's just stripped in the tackle. And it's turnover to San Diego State. Oh, he's going to give the knock on against him. That's a difficult one for the ref to see there. And it will be a scrum down for Utah in the San Diego State 22. Very dangerous attacking position here for Utah.
Yeah, it was a good gather at the back of the line. I don't know if that was planned, but great carry by the number 8 of Utah.
Fantastic. That's Rufflin there. Yeah, he might be one to look out for the game. On the front row goes at it. It is Rufflin who carries from the base. He is a strong ball carrier.
Oh, the great
back
carry.
row gets there quick. And the ruck is won. It's fast ball. He taps it back inside to the number 3. The tight head has had some couple of carries already in the game. And we're 5 meters out now. Slightly slow ball at the ruck. Comes out to the hooker. That's Goff. San Diego State looking to choke tackle there. But he manages to get to ground. Goff is out with a little show and go. He is a dangerous player. And it's bringing us just 3 meters out now. It's a defensive goal line stand now for State. Big carry and a big hit as well from Jonathan Raby. That's Rufflin getting his hands on the ball again.
There you go, State! Hold the line! Go, State!
They look to move it wide now. Weber gets in his hands. He puts it out the back. Center Salazar puts it on the wing. And scut back inside, but great defense there. Great push, great hunt from the inside from San Diego State. They're just 2 meters out as well. This is a fantastic goal line stand, but the ref does have his hand up for advantage. They look to pick and go here just at the line. Brings it out to Weber again. He puts a flat one to Rufflin, but he's met really well. But he manages to get the offload away. Great step back on the inside. There's a great hunt here from the San Diego State pack. Bit of a bobble on the ball, and it's a knock on, so they will bring it back to this penalty.
Yeah, Utah showed great patience there. Brilliant ball retention. I think they built quite a few phases, and when they went out wide, they still won their breakdown. So putting San Diego State under a lot of pressure here.
Yeah, they'll be very happy with that, especially after 3 defensive penalties at the start of the game. They really held on to possession well. Very professional looking outfit. They elect to take the tap penalty within the 22, and he puts it out the back twice. And again, Weber directing traffic. It's a slow ball. That's Coggins there, the tight head prop with again another carry. He's got through a phenomenal amount of work already.
Keep it up, Skate!
But they are going backwards now. Goff trying to get us moving forward again. But it looks like there might be a little bit of a poach at the breakdown, but he's calling it for not releasing. Now again, similar penalty in this situation. Charlie, they went for the quick tap penalty last time, which is pretty unconventional. He's gone for it again. That's Goff just trying to lead by example here. He's diving forward. Still hasn't reached the line. Weber looking to get his hands on the ball. Maybe he'll try put it out the back again. Goes to the loose head prop for the big carry, but he's met with a wall of red jerseys. Weber looking to switch the play back to the short side. Oh, he's met very well. That's Soup out of here. Aguilera with a huge tackle. And again, it looks like it's a turnover. That is a fantastic hit from the prop.
Yeah, I think Utah's leaders and decision makers need to come together on that next penalty, because you got to remember this is a playoff game. You got to take the points on offer. They're right in front of the post, or at least set up a set piece where you can get the forwards sucked in.
So do you think that again they're going with the top penalty? Do you think that this is some sort of a pre-planned opportunity here for the Utes, that every time they get in the 22 they're just going to go quick?
It's got to be in. I think they're going to try and tie out the San Diego
looking to pick
State
and jam
defense.
over the line.
They're going to show some patience here.
This is
get rewarded for that decision.
Conditioning exercise for San Diego State here, but again, it is a penalty. It looks like it's a try.
Is the try been given?
It looks like it's a try. Hard to see, but Again, we did say they should take the points, but they've gone for 3 quick taps in a row, and eventually it has paid off. Do you think this is something to do with maybe the Utah set piece? They're not trusting the scrum, they're not trusting the line out. They have had a turnover at the scrum up at the 22, which led to the try from Nick Lupien.
Possibly. Fortune favours the brave, as they say, and they obviously want to keep the ball in hand, play a high tempo game, and they were lucky to be rewarded there. Through great ball retention in the 22, which is not easy to do. However, I think they're going to take the points on offer next time.
It'll be Weber here looking to even the scores. And he just drags it a little bit to the left, so it is still 7-5 to San Diego State. Remember, we're joined at TVX Sports Video. Check out the Twitter handle, TVX Sports Video. That's at TVX Sports Video on Twitter. Bringing us a fantastic stream today, so all of you at home can enjoy this D1A playoff game, round 1 playoff rugby. For the Utah Utes, that's the score on the board now for them. Who's impressed you so far for them, Charlie?
I think number 8's, been a great ball carrier. He looks the part. 10's showed some good control, some game management, and looks like the 9's got a nice nippy pass on him, so they should be...
Yeah, they have showed a little bit of diversity of play. They've banged it up for the forwards a little bit, but Weber has showed that he has a willingness to put it out to back with some of his backs, yeah? Utah looking to carry just outside the 22. They are outside the 22 now. Will they look to exit? Weber gets in his hand, and he does put it on the boot. Kick brings us down to the San Diego State 10 metre, and Ari Finkel looked to bring it wide to big Jacobs in down the wing. He looked to maybe have a little bit of a carry, but he's met with a wall defenders. Get the offload away, and it's the Walls brothers here on the outside. Looks to do the smart thing and just brings it into contact.
Let's go. Under the neck.
Ward up there, just the top at the back to Kevin McGlone, and he has a carry bringing us up to just behind the halfway line. Austin Schweitzer standing deep with the ball, brings it out the back. Barkham, Lupien, again, that's a try score with a break, but it looks like there's a slight knock on there. Again, that's what you said about the San Diego State players standing a little bit deep when they look to fling the ball wide there.
Yeah, I think they need to do a couple of decoy runners, a couple of angles just to catch the Utah defenders stuck in their tracks, but I think they're just standing way too deep to start. They need to be moving quicker onto that ball to get a little bit more time for the guys on the outside.
And you can see there just the intent from San Diego State. They'll look to maybe play the ball from their own half. That was Zinda with the offload into the tackle, and Gil Covey with the pass to the outside there. So it seems like they have no fear from playing inside their own half from kicking. Yeah,
absolutely. Boys want to play. Let the boys play.
That's it. Refs brought the front rows up. Someone's seen a spider down there. And we're going to pack down again. Now, the only really look at the Utah scrum that we've had is maybe the turnover that we've had inside the 22, which led to the try. But they have held firm here, and it goes out to Weber. Does a little dummy switch, and it's a big crash in the middle by the number 13, Tapunu. That's a great carry. He brings it into the San Diego State half. And again, that's Rufflin with a big carry and the offload. That's the back row working really well for the Utes there. And it'll be Rufflin at the base there, getting his hands on the ball, goes to Goff. Those two working really well together. They really are the driving force behind this pack of the Utes. That second row, Jones with a big carry, brings us up to the 22. And again, San Diego State find themselves in a defensive position. Weber with a little show and go, but he's held up there in contact with the Walls brothers. But he will come back for a penalty to Utah. And again, that's the high tackle rule there, Charlie, that you talked about earlier. Just anything seems to be above the shoulders, even a hand or a forearm on the neck, that he is going to call that penalty, yeah?
Yeah, unfortunately, the ref's got a referee with a little bit of empathy here. I don't think anyone has intent to hit the guy around the neck. If a hand slides up, the ref's got to kind of understand that, not look for excuses to blow the whistle, So we don't want to see too many penalties in this game for that kind of thing, because obviously there'll be a yellow card.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I think it is player welfare at heart with the referee with these college level players. Yeah. Utah got the middle jumper, but it is jammed by a front pod there for San Diego State, and they look to get themselves out of trouble. And it looks like he's going to have a scrum down for obstruction, running into his own player when he recovered the ball. Unfortunate, because it was a very good effort from that front pod to disrupt that line out. Yeah.
Yeah, obviously that line out's troubling Utah once again. I assume Ed's going to pick up here and try and set up off the back of the scrum. Maybe 12 coming short off him.
Again, that's big Rufflin. Brings around to the scrum half. That's a tidy move. And the winger's in. Really, really good set play from the Utes there. 8 pick back around to the 9 from behind the back of the 10. And a little tap to the winger. That's a very good set play.
Yeah, brilliant to see them mixing it up. I think, like me, San Diego State were assuming the big number 8 was just going to set it up. Nice to see it behind 10's back to 11 straight through.
Yeah, so it's
great finish.
It's not just this big Utah pack that are causing trouble here. We've got a few backs that can run as well, yeah, mate?
Absolutely.
And it looks like we're going to have a change at kicker with 9 Hoff coming in to take this penalty. Maybe Weber's just not feeling it today. Jacobs in there with a preemptive rush on the kick. And 9 brings it home. That's a 12-7 scoreline now to Utah. Fantastic start of the game we've had so far, Charlie, yeah?
Absolutely, action-packed, 3 tries already. San Diego State looking very dangerous with the ball in hand. And obviously Utah's pack, very dominant so far. Great ball carries, good ball retention. And really making San Diego State worry when they're defending their own half.
And you can really see that it has been a game of territory so far. When the game has been played in the Utah half, it's San Diego State scoring, but they have made a couple of mistakes and turnovers in their own half, and it's led to Utah points. Yeah,
absolutely.
Oh. He has not taken well from the second row there, so it is Wells that to clean it up. He looked to get to deck, straight back to Jake Jorstad. He looked to have a big carry, turns his body in contact, but manages to get really good ball placement, and it'll come there to Soup out of here, Aguilera, who brings out the back to Schweitzer, but he's met with a big wall of defenders, and it is Rufflin, the number 8, who makes the tackle. So they are going backwards. They look to just tap it to a big man, get us over the gain line here. Jake Jorstad with the big carry, but again, he's met with Rufflin. He's had a fantastic game so far. Comes out to Gil Covey, the prop, puts it over the top, and it's Big Jacobs in there with the carry, cuts back in the inside. It doesn't hold on to the ball, but it looks like it's gone backwards. That's Gil Covey, the man who gave the pass, recovering. As Matt Wardock brings it out to his 10. And it's big. They're looking to get a lot of work through Jake Jorstad. He has carried well, but he's been met with 2-3 players every single time. Puts it out the back to Ari Fink.
It's a good
Great carry from him. Yeah, he's up to the 10-meter line. But it's Weber, the 10, really trying to mess up that ruck there. But there will be a penalty to San Diego State.
Yeah, State being caught, way behind the gain line once again. I think they've got to attack a little bit flatter. 10's got to stand a little bit closer to 9 and get the ball carriers into the game, get them going forward. Starts with a good carry, quick clean, and then they can get quick ball and hopefully get a mismatch out wide once again. And
that was a very good defensive set from Utah until they committed the penalty.
Yeah, that was a great read by Ruffin, number 8, having a fantastic game once again. That just G's up, teammates around you. But we have a line out here, attacking line up for State. Let's see what they can do with it.
Fourth line of the day does go to hand. It's very well done. Up to Austin. He looked to put it out the back. And he managed to get it wide to Lupien. The try scorer puts a little fend on. Zinda on the outside. Oh, the big man goes in. That's fast. Fantastic play from Nick Lupien on 13. A little channel hop, gave the offload to Zinda with a little bit of space. And that big man doesn't need too much. He's got speed and size as well, so very hard to bring him down.
Absolutely. I see a lot of Jonathan Joseph in this Nick Lupini. That's awesome. I mean, that's two touches, 2 tries, coming from him. So great feat.
He's done very well, Nick Lupien. a regular here in the San Diego State lineup, but showing really good feet there and a great offload to the outside. Just a little bit of a channel hop, draws in the outside hips of the outside defender and puts Jacobs into away. He's still had a little bit of work to do now, but just with the speed that's Inda has on the outside, it's hard to stop the big man.
Absolutely.
Harrison Barkham steadies himself. And that's a very tidy nudge. And that brings the score to 14-12 to San Diego State. If you're just joining us, it's 14-12, San Diego State lead. We've had a game of a lot of action so far. The team's not afraid to spread the ball out wide at all, or not afraid to play within contact as well.
Absolutely. Both teams come with great intent. They want to play. They're not afraid.
That's a big restart off, and contested as well, and Utah look to recover. But it's knock on from both sides, and it will be a scrum down to Utah. So just looking at that last try there, Charlie, great play. Even though the primary, secondary ball have actually gone behind the player who's checked them, it just shows that they can really play within chaos. I think that's something that Alex Lichtig has really instilled within these boys. A lot of game-based training sessions, a lot of thinking on your feet, and you can really tell that, can't you?
Definitely. They're seeing the picture and they're making decisions really quickly and getting on with it, regardless of what's going on.
Great first phase from the Utes there again, but it is slightly slow ball from the ruck, and they are jammed at the gain line. They'll look to slow it down there, tap it to the big man and just get over. Oh, just a slight knock there, just a little lapse in concentration.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate. I was just about to compliment, how well coached Utah look. Their loose forwards are looking for that tip on, putting a guy in a better space. Very well coached, great structure.
That's Malafu with the knock, but that won't bother him too much. He's been a huge asset to this Utah side in the last few games, scoring tries and doing the hard yards there for this forward pack. The backs go at it again, and it's Wardock with the feed. Big Jake Jorstad look to carry, brings it back to Wardock, and a little tap on, and they look to hit the outside again. Lupien with the ball in hand, gives a little delay. Big Jacobs in that has a spin out of a tackle, and they have made gain line. Big launch from the Utah Utes there in the middle, and they look to go all the way across the pitch from one side to the other. Gil Kobe, the prop, finds himself on the outside, and it's the Walsh brothers. Big soup out of here. Aguilera, what'll he do? It puts it back on the inside. This is a fantastic bit of play if they can finish this. Oh, it's just a knock on.
It's back off Utah.
Looks like it's gone back off Utah as well. It's just an absolute tussle here at the line. Fantastic piece of play from San Diego State.
Comedy of errors.
And it is a penalty, and it looks like it's a yellow card as well.
It's
looks
penalty
to do
try.
the tap. Oh, it's a penalty try. A yellow card from an 80-meter break. What an absolute turn of events here for San Diego State. What a fantastic drive we've just seen.
Aside from the comedy that's just gone on, that was brilliant distribution. They went side to side with some bigger, tight forwards interpassing down the left-hand touchline. That was fantastic to see.
Yeah, they've gone off second phase there. They've looked to go wide off the first phase. The backs bringing it all the way to Jacobs Inda. And you could see the big launch from Utah right there in the middle. But what they're looking for in that is just an edge. So right there on the outside, Utah with 5 or 6 players coming up in the middle, but they went the space all the way, 3 passes to the outside to a prop who sat back on the off the scrum. So really fantastic bit of play all round. 2 offloads on the outside, 1 from Soup, out of here Aguilera, and Gil Kobe as well. So a really great team effort from everyone involved.
Yeah, brilliant skill set. Great exhibition up here we got.
Let's go Aztecs! Restart coming in from Utah's not gathered.
Look to feed it back into Austin Schweitzer, and it's 2 balls wide again. This is a really fantastic, exciting San Diego State team. Nick Lupino with the little chip kick, little hitch kick. And again, that's a high tackle, just one around the neck. I think this is really the area, Charlie, where I'd have a little bit of problem, because those wide tackle areas, it is so hard when you're trying to bring your feet as close as you can to a player, not to wrap in some sort of an angle like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's where the ref's got to make a decision with empathy. The guy's not intending to tackle him high. You can't call every single one, otherwise it's just going to ruin the game. Although I'd like to see a fend. I'd like to see a fend off that right wing there.
He looks to be tucking the ball. He is a big man. He looks to be tucking the ball. Maybe that's something that they've talked about a little bit. Just maybe ball retention on the outside. Barkin puts us into touch, and it is our 6th line of the day. After 2 misses at the start, they're operating very well now.
Great
Schweitzer standing a little bit deep again, but brings in the winger. A little bit of a grounded, but it's picked up fantastically well by Ari Flink, who passes back on the inside. That's Jacobson on his wing, on the opposite wing. Look at the burn through. Again, shows a little bit of a fend this time. Must have listened to you, Charlie, and pops the ball back. Come back to Schweitzer.
They got numbers. They got numbers. It's got to be.
It's knocked on there in the middle. And ref's going to bring it back. You can really see the intention from this San Diego State team. Anytime they go from a line out, they're looking to bring a decoy runner up to hold that launch in the middle of the field and get it right out wide.
Absolutely. It's all happening. I think they produced really good quick ball on the outsides. To catch Utah running back, not onsides, and then go wide to wide again.
We will have to take into consideration that the Utah are a man down as well, so it's probably a good option from San Diego State to try use the ball within this period.
Absolutely. It's good to see the guys have picked that up, and they want to up the tempo and keep the ball for as long as they can during this 10-minute period.
And with Utah down to 14 men, we're at 21-12. What's the mindset of these boys right now? What should they be thinking as Weber puts it down to the corner?
They need to play in the right areas, tighten it up, and hopefully get the ball in hand and try and keep the ball for extended periods of time.
And you as a scrum half, a playmaker, you'd probably look to slow down the game. Should that be a tactic from Hoff and Weber?
Absolutely. They need to be in control now, and for the next 10 minutes, just try not to concede any points. And leadership really needs to step up here.
Weber taps it on, not keeping it too high, but they have found.
It's another good
that's
carry.
Big Goff on the outside, who again, that's a turn of penalty now. So again, with the high tackle, that's Big Goff. He's got through a lot of work along with his number 8 Rufflin, and he looked to really try to get this team back on the forward momentum. Penalty for the same thing that we've had last time, which is a high tackle. That's a total of 4, I think, that we've had already, is it?
Yeah, boys need to really sort out their discipline there. I know it's not easy, but we've hopped on it. Let's hope it changes for the rest of the game. This hook and Goff, he looks like the heart and soul in this team. He's everywhere. He's carrying hard. We need that kind of thuggery in every team.
That's it, and it is Chad Goff to put the dart into the line out now. They look to hop to the front, but it is a little bit of an overthrow. And Jake Jorstad look to pick it up. It's off the foot there in the middle of the pitch, so they're going to play on.
Didn't mean to jinx him there,
yeah,
unfortunately. But midfield scrum, San Diego State ball. Apologies, Utah ball.
Utah ball, I think. Although it did come off Jake Jorstad's foot, a lot of the time the interpretation of the rule is if you're not in control of the ball, he will give a knock on. So that's exactly what's happened. Scrum down in the middle of the pitch now. They've had 3 first phase bit of rugby so far where they've gone over the gain line from these backs, so they can play. So let's see what they can do here. Again, that's a lovely
great carry by Ruffin.
That's a lovely little dummy on the inside there.
Utah needs to show patience here. What a threat at the back of the scrum.
Yeah, really good. Oh, he's gone. That's Goff gone quick now. He'll drop his body trying to get over the line there. He's only 1 meter out now.
It's a pick and go.
That's Rufflin with his back rower. Hunt trying to get that pick and go just over the line. They're slowing it right down and trying to let the forwards win this. Same as last time, same as their other try.
He's over.
And that is a try. We've got a fantastic game in our hands now. That brings the score up to 21-17.
It's a real high-scoring game. I'm sure these guys have been watching a lot of Super Rugby recently. Great skills on display here. Both teams, great attacking intent. There's a massive threat off the back of that scrum. San Diego State flankers need to get off a little bit quicker and really stop Big Ruffin in his tracks with a low chop tackle if possible.
It is very interesting that the initial try that they did have with the winger came from the Ruffin with just giving that little ball behind the back to the 9. Yep. This time he's nearly just done the little show. The back row has drifted off to the 9, so he does have an array of decision making in the arsenal there from the back, doesn't he?
Absolutely, not just brawn. He looks like a smart player. He's definitely a thinking player. Like the look of him.
Off with the conversion. And he nails it. That's 21-19.
The way this game's turning out, I wonder if both these teams are going to run out of air. A real high-scoring game. Crowd here at San Diego State are being treated.
Yeah, it is a fantastic game so far. Do you think we're in for a little bit of a shootout?
Mate, I think 75-60.
Yeah. Great take from a single man lift from the restart, but it is a drop there. That's just those little errors there which are giving away territory for Utah. I think that's probably, if not the main area that they look to correct at half time now.
Yeah, absolutely. They need to take care of their kick receipts. They're scoring points. They're getting, not taking the kickoffs well and not exiting from their own half. So that's an area they definitely need to sort out.
And Weber looks like he has a little bit of a boot on him as well, doesn't he?
He does. He's been kicking really well, despite the narrow field, it seems.
We'll have a scrum down here, and there's no one on the short side. So big Jake Jorstad's going to pick around, but it's Rufflin looking to get him. Oh, there's Matt Wardock. The scrum half looks to hold the ball up, but he plants it back. Jacob Zinda looking to go in there at 9. The ball comes out the back. It's a big launch, and Austin Schweitzer probably does the smart thing in electing to carry up in the middle.
Oh, great hands.
Little channel opposite the Walls brother with the 360 American football type spin out there. Yeah, that's, I guess you only see it over here in the States. Ari Flink with a step on the inside. He's so hard to get a handle on. Gets the offload away.
Still on his feet.
And that's Gonzalez with the great carry. Schweitzer taps it on to his hooker, Abdullah. And it will be a penalty coming San Diego State's way. As Wardock takes it quick, comes out to his captain Schweitzer, taps it on. Kevin McGlone held up well there. We'll bring it back. And again, it's a period of, great step off the inside foot. Gil Covey there with great aggression and contact. Will they look to go the same way? No, they tap it back to the short side. It's one of the Walls brothers there. But we will come back to the penalty. Will they look to tap it twice? Oh. Again, they do. This is an absolute shootout here. Work. On the grass field, he's gone in for a try. There is absolutely no hesitation to play rugby here with these boys. Same with Utah as well. A little bit unorthodox, Charlie, but there's a lot of tries going in.
Absolutely. Didn't know I was coming up to a 10s tournament today.
It seems a little bit like that. Remember, this is knockout rugby. This is National Championship D1A playoff rugby, but these boys have no fear at all to play the ball.
Absolutely. Very refreshing to see. I just want to make a comment on the San Diego State tight head prop, Covey Gill. And I haven't seen a tight head prop with that kind of passing ability in a long time.
Yeah, he can really
very
move the ball
impressive.
Well. That seems to be nearly, if you look at an asset of the teams who've done very well in recent years. Obviously, the All Blacks, Saracens, the Champions Cup winners. A lot of the front rowers can play ball, which just gives them an option all over the pitch just to move it.
Yep, skills right across the board. Very, very good to see. Awesome work rate. Good tackle fight there. He's having a monster game himself.
It's a big nudge from
Excellent
Barkham and
conversion.
it's gone over. That's a fantastic conversion. Let's bring the scores up to 28-19. 28-19 and a half for rugby is a phenomenal
Someone
amount of
remind
points.
them at halftime that this is a playoff game.
Yeah. Utah still down to 14 men. Weber gives a signal. I think he might elect to put the ball deep here and just rely on D and not concede any more points before the man with the yellow comes back on the pitch.
San Diego really got to get this kick receipt right.
And he does go deep.
It's deep.
Now they went wide off last time. They looked like they'd do it again. Schweitzer with 2 passes, and that's being the danger man on the outside. He looked to straighten and give, but he holds on to the ball this time. Probably a good option and very good ball placement. Taps it back to the 10. They're looking to move him. Big Jonathan Raby there.
Oh,
Tries the offload, but it doesn't go to hand. It's Utah. That was nearly a turnover opportunity for Utah there in the San Diego State 22, but they get away with a penalty. That's probably where the ball playing is a little bit dangerous inside the 22. But I guess they've scored 4 tries so far already. So
yeah, I guess it's working. You can't slow them down now. Yeah, it's really refreshing to see them go wide to wide, using, all the players on the field. Brilliant distribution of the ball. Great skills right across the board once again.
And Barkham taps it into touch here. San Diego State will have a line out on their own 22. After the couple of mistakes at the line at the start. Hooker, Johnny Abdullah, has thrown very well for the last few. Let's see if he can hit his target here on this dart. Goes right down the middle, but it is recovered by Utah. That's big Meyer in the back row. And his hands in the ruck there from San Diego State. And it will go all the way back to Weber.
Very quick to blow his whistle there, Mr. Ref. I think if he wasn't actually reffing this game, it'd be 100 all by now. Oh, he's missed touch.
Oh, Weber's gone deep and it's gone all the way down. And that brings us to half time. Really, that might be a little bit of a let off for San Diego State, giving away a penalty in their own half.
Yeah, San Diego State very lucky there. It's been a great, first half. I think Utah have shown the grunt up front. They've done really well, and San Diego State have just, shown skills.
And with a scoreline of 28-19, what are some of the corrections that you feel some of the sides could bring into the second half?
I think both set pieces really need to improve, especially the line-out. Utah's scrum has been pretty good. Yeah, definitely the set piece. And just defensively, you can't concede tries as quick as they are. They're scoring. It feels like it's each side's having a turn to score. So after scoring points, they've got to stop conceding points.
Excellent. At halftime, it is 28-19 in this Division 1A Round 1 playoff battle. And we're back here for the second half of San Diego State and Utah Utes. Great take in the line out there, or in the restart, should I say. And it'll go back to Weber. And back to this physical battle again. Utah look to exit now. They do have the wind pushing against them slightly. A little tap back into the inside to Rufflin there. He's been their primary ball carrier all day, along with Goff. Little pick, and that does bring us outside the 22. Weber gets the ball in hand, had a little step off his right foot. He hasn't carried too much himself today. He has distributed the ball very well, so that could be an option for him as players maybe drift off. He's picked it through the rough. That's Goff there, the danger man. Looks to step, and that's a great carry. Little taps it back in the inside. Looks like that might be hands on the ruck there. That could be trouble. That's Ari Fink, the 15 for San Diego State with the yellow. Absolutely fantastic bit of play there from Goff to pick through the ruck, seeing that there's no kind of 8 man in behind. They just had 2 pillars set.
Excellent move. Great touch for the hooker. Ref really quick to go to the yellow card there. I'm not sure exactly what happened.
That kind of situation with a covering tackler and just a little bit of a messy ruck. You think he was a little bit quick to go to the pocket?
Absolutely. We've just started the second half. We want to keep all 15 on the field at all times if possible.
So that brings a really different element to the start of the second half now for San Diego State, down to 14 men. It'll be similar to what Utah had in the first half when they had a man go to the bin along with a penalty try. Rufflin with the take from the line out. They look to drive it a bit, but goes out to Weber again. He's had a good game. He puts it out the back, holding on the inside. And it's Austin Schweitzer with the last-ditch tackle there. Looks like they could have been through off the first phase. That's Coggins there with a carry, and Hoff has it at the base. Taps on to the big man, Goff.
Goff once again.
Weber gets his hands on the ball, spins it wide. They go through 3 passes. Really both expansive teams that look to move the ball wide, don't they?
Absolutely.
Again, 2 passes again. It's a big
bumper.
Big 13 Papunu with a great carry. Hoff looks to have a little scoot there, but he's jammed up by both pillars. That's Johnny Abdullah there. And it looks like the big man will look to just get us going here over the gain line. Taps out to big man Rufflin. That's a really uncharacteristic drop from him, and it will be a little bit of relief for pressure. You can excuse the big man. He's been absolutely working for these Utah boys in the pack, so maybe just that one little knock in concentration, you can't really blame him for that.
Yeah, long trip down from Utah. He's been spot on all day.
Yeah, they have had a long trip down. Remember, they are the traveling team here. What kind of effect does that play onto teams when they have to travel for kind of a playoff fixture like this?
Oh, I think it's huge, especially with the conditions. I don't think Utah are used to playing in this type of heat at this time of the year, but there's a beautiful breeze coming through, and it doesn't look like it's affected them too much as it should.
Yeah, that's a good point. They have had some great results as the years go on. They did lose to Air Force, Colorado State, and Wyoming at the start of the year, but again, they bounced back with huge results. As Jake Jorsat absolutely,
that's a brilliant carry off the back
there,
of the
and it pops it back to Austin Schweitzer, who does stand a little bit deep. Gil Covey with the carry. That's the prop you named. The first half has had in fantastic hands. Austin standing a little bit deep again. Puts out to Lupien, who has been the danger man, but he's met with a big wall of Utah defenders. Wardock gets his hands on the ball. Pops it to Schweitzer, who taps it onto Ryan Walls there on the outside. Ruck from the edge there. Big launch from the Utah Utes. That's big Harrison Barker there, who's been absolutely immaculate with his kicking. Looking to just split the pitch here, and it is a penalty for, I think, hands in the ruck of falling over the top after a really good defensive set from Utah there. That's really unacceptable. That's something that they were trying to avoid there from the first half, isn't it?
Massive error in judgment there. Utah obviously just trying to slow San Diego State's ball down, and San Diego State obviously get an easy get out here.
And he's looking to slow the ball down, but does he even need to do that? He's jammed them behind the gain line. They have to kind of reconfigure the offense there to get a big ball carrier around. Is there any need to slow the ball down at that stage?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I can see what he's thinking, but as soon as the ref has seen him, he needs to get out.
Now, we've got a line out from just inside the Utah half. In the first half, from a similar position, they went wide and then brought it all the way back over the far side of the pitch. So do you think they'll try a similar strike play now?
It's been working for them. Let's see if they try it again.
With a little loop around play. Puts it at the back. Oh, Lupian's caught well.
Oh, he does a great job.
He does a great job. Little 7-style drop of the ball, releases and gets to his feet. And a really great bit of fight to place the ball back. Ref nearly cops a falcon to the head there as he taps it on there. Oh, great. Two big offloads. And it's got to the outside. That's Big Jacobs in on the right-hand side. Again, they're looking to play ball. Nothing has changed here in the second half. As he gets put into touch, he taps it back over. Standing deep is Austin Schweitzer, which allows them to get the launch. The long kick is just a little bit too deep. They did have a big launch on him there, but maybe not so much panic stations.
Yeah, massive brain fart there from number 10. Happens from time to time. Happens to the best of them.
Yeah, he has been pulling the strings very well.
He's had a brilliant game so far. I'd like to see him start a little bit closer to 9. I think he's standing a little bit too far, so by the time he gets the ball, Utah are already up on them.
Yeah, we did have a chance to chat to San Diego State alumni Calais Conrad and backs coach, and that was one of the things that he had forwarded on to the boys to the 9 and 10, just to tighten up that gap a little bit. So there's not so much time between the ball going from the base of the ruck and the 10, giving that Utah launch just that extra second, yeah?
Yep, he needs to start a lot closer and take a little bit flatter to the line.
The big man will reset the scrum now. I tell you what, I wouldn't know myself since I'm not a front rower, but it must be difficult to play this type of expansive gameplay and then go in and pack down for the scrum. Charlie, you're a scrum half, so you probably wouldn't really know either.
I wouldn't, but I'm a little bit closer than you are usually. So yeah, boys are going to be sucking hard. These are college students, so it doesn't seem to affect them.
Yeah, these are young boys. They should be well able to run around. Weber puts one at the back again. Straighten up on the outside. And that's Barkham there looking to choke, and it is just when you hear that tackle call, you've really got to release. I know it is so tempting in that kind of scenario when you feel like you have got some physical dominance to try and hold on for that choke tackle, but as soon as the knee is down, the ref calls tackle, you've got to release the player. Again, that's just a little bit of inexperience there from both teams just committing these penalties throughout the pitch, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. That communication has got to come from the outside. The guy actually holding him up probably couldn't hear it, but I'd like to let the ref, I'd like the ref to let it go a little bit longer. Eventually they did let him go, and the penalty was still called.
They go to the long jumper, but it's an overthrow. It's a great pickup, but Jonathan Raby, and he carries the middle, gets a good 20-meter gain. I tell you what, that's a pretty good counter ruck, but I think it's holding on, her hands in the ruck. That's the big man Ruff, and he looks really displeased with that one.
A little bit of handbags there. Utah coaching staff.
I think with the big carry there, I think Rufflin looked like he might have got a turnover there, and he was pretty displeased with that call.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing in that.
They're going to bring in Goff and Schweitzer now just for a little bit of a chat. Say, settle down the boys, stop with the handbags, and let the ref do his job.
Again, this game has been streamed by TVX Sports Video. You can follow them on Twitter at TVX Sports Video if you're not going to be able to have the screen in front of you for the next 30-35 minutes or so.
Excellent. Yeah, we are really lucky to be able to get the live stream now to show all friends, family and supporters of both of these great colleges the great rugby action that we have on show today. Harrison Barkham already making his little mark there to kick to touch. And again, I think the line out wide has seemed to be a great platform from San Diego State.
Absolutely, they're doing really well to win the ball out wide. The guys in the outside channels are doing a great job at the breakdown. Like I said, I'd like the connection between 10 and 9. to be a little bit shorter.
Tighten up a little bit,
Yeah.
That's a great nudge now, bringing us to 22. The wind is at San Diego State's back for this second half, even though they did convert 4 from 4 from the first half, so it does bode well. But remember, they are down to 14 men for probably about another 6 or so minutes, so they'll want to maybe slow it down a little bit and hold on to the ball and wind down the clock a little bit. Charlie, would I be right in saying that?
You're right in saying that, but I know these boys, they just want to play. They seem pretty excited, and after that first half, I think they're buzzing.
Wardock with the ball back to Austin Swider. They do that same loop around play again, and it goes to Lupien. He's nearly jammed again by the same player that got him last time, but really good footwork and good ball placement as well.
Yeah, great job of cleaning up
to tap it through 10. That's
brilliant
a double
hands.
pass there. Gil Covey with the footwork. That's your Charlie, your favourite there on the outside with a little dummy.
Made great tip on by
Johnny Abadullah, yeah.
That's him.
Big carry to the outside. They'll top it to Johnny and bring it back there. Kevin McGlone with the offload.
Good offload.
And
It's out
Gil
the back.
Covey fires one out to Barkham. Taps it on again. That's Ryan Walls. Oh, just a knock on there.
It's intercepted.
I think it would be smart here for Utah to try and use it and clear the lines and not go to the set piece while they're a little bit disorganized. Remember, they are down to 14 men. San Diego State with the fullback up have dropped 2 to the backfield. It's both wingers there, so they are short men in the front as Weber looks to have a little step and attack the line. He places the ball back. I think they've realised this, that they're down in numbers, and now's the time to attack. That's Goff there with the carry. He looks to show on the outside, but there was no intent from that tackler, so there's not any heat brought off him. It's half the scrum half who has to come in and clean out.
Oh. It could have gone either way, I think.
It really could have gone either way. They had a couple of the Utah pack just looking at that ruck, and it ended up with the scrum half coming out for the clean.
It seems like both teams came to agreement before the game not to exit out of their own 22s. It seems like both teams are trying to run it out.
Yeah, could be a different sport we're playing right now. Just play ball. Isn't that right?
Spring break, none of the boys are tired. And that's not out.
It's Gonzalez there with the fielding from that. Looks to give it wide, but it's Walls with the pickup. Looks to spin it wide. This is a scrappy play within their own half.
Great feed
it's
once
Lupien looking to really, when he's isolated, he does a really good job of staying on his feet for as long as possible, for waiting for a sport to arrive. But that's
intercepted.
That's a bad intercept there. To top off to the big man Rufflin. He bounces forward to just about the 5 metre line. That's half there. Puts it on the outside. They have space on the right. It looks like Weber's there tapping his head, maybe for a cross field. But it is an offside penalty. Will they look to go quick? Yes, he does. That's Goff, the big man, going quick.
Could have released that.
That's Malafu with the carry. He's been known to score tries for the Utes in previous games. They all flood to the right-hand side now. And it is, again, it looks like that's a try. That's the big man Ruffin with the score.
Utah jumping on the opportunity to pick up a loose ball. Some very ropey passing there from San Diego State. It's all fun and games until the ball actually doesn't go to hand.
I think that's really what we talked about in the first half, that they have scored tries off scrappy play and they have thrown the ball around and scored tries, but that you kind of run the risk of conceding a turnover try like that with an intercept or just a scrappy ball.
Yeah, there's a time and place. You can't play loose all the time, and I think it's an area where San Diego State could have tightened up a little bit, get their forwards a little bit flatter, get them over the gain line, build a platform, and then use this wind to get into the corners.
And again with Ari Fink still about half his time in the bin still remaining, they're looking to throw the ball around with 14 men, is leaving their big forwards a difficult job to kind of recover and get to every ruck and win ball.
I'm thoroughly enjoying the grunt of these Utah forwards. Their tight five have done a great job, and then loose forwards that can all carry ball. Brilliant offload out of the tackle there from one of the locks to Ruffin.
Yeah, he's done well. Rufflin's had a
Rufflin,
good game. And again, it's Chad Goff there, I think, who's initiating a lot of these quick taps. He is the captain. He seems to be making the decisions. So is that just something that they would have organised as a team, or him as a captain just trying to bring the impetus to that forwards?
It seems so. It seems so because they're all on the same page. When a guy takes a quick tap, he's never isolated, and everyone's backing each other. Been very impressed with Utah so far.
That scoreline is 28-26, which is really in the scheme of the game probably about right at this stage, isn't it?
It's been an absolute humdinger. Real treat on Easter weekend.
It's not fielded there, and so they will have a difficult exit from their own 22 with the wind in their faces. Weber.
Let's see if they exit, yeah.
Ball goes to Weber. Oh, he puts a little chip on the boot. That's not a bad
That's
option,
excellent
but
cover.
Really great cover by the 9. Just in that chip channel. Wardock with a step off his right hand foot and great ball placement. Barkham picks up that little offload from the deck, and we've got a really good opportunity to score now for San Diego State with 14 men. Big Jake Jorstad's met by 2 heavy tackles. That's a great job by that Utah back row just to kind of shepherd him all day. Fink is back on the pitch, and Lupien throws a big fend there and goes forward. Soup out of here, Aguilera with the carry in midfield. They look to spin it wide again. It's the Walls brothers there doing a great job, just kind of cleaning up some of that wide play each time. There's Matt Wardock. The 9 is just tussled in contact there. Wall goes wide to Lupien. That's a clever little option to the corner. Will it pay off? And it's just gone that little bit too far. That's a clever option there. Just a correction on the score, and the score is 28-24. So similar. We did say we were off by a couple of points there, but 28-24 is it's as nearly as tight as they come, isn't it?
Yeah, it was very good game management by Lupien. Oh, they've taken a quick 22, and he's got it away.
22.
Oh, it's a loose head prop with the offload.
It's 2 offloads on the outside, but they do have it there again. That's Mulstein wide on the wing.
Goff again.
Oh, that's Goff looking to pick through the ruck for a second time. And I think it's an advantage for a knock on there. He tried just the same tactic that he had in the first half, just to try to pick through that ruck without a man behind. I think he might have left the ball behind that time, was it?
Yep. Just lack of concentration there, but keeping San Diego State defense on their toes in the close quarters.
You did make a note there about Nick Lupien just dropping it onto the boot there. That's a really good option if you haven't gone forward for a couple of phases.
Absolutely.
Or your 9 is caught up in contact, just to turn their back and put them under a little bit of a pressure with a kick chase, yeah?
Yeah, State had completely lost shape there, so I think it was a brilliant decision. Just unfortunate it went a little bit too far, but great array of skills once again from a very impressive number 13. I'm sure he's got a big future ahead of him.
Jorstad lets it back for Austin Schweitzer, and they put a big carry. That's Lupien again getting the hard yards
once
there
again
in the midfield. No, they're not putting a blindside winger to the ruck, so it is a little bit of a scrappy ball. And Jorstad will look to clean this up. He's met well, and that's 3 good defensive phases from the Utah Utes. They look to spin it wide. The wide one comes in, and it's picked up by the Walls brothers again doing a fantastic job. They seem to be hanging out in those outside channels, maybe playing a little bit of a 2-4-2 formation, are they? Again, Kevin McGlone packs it off to Barkham. It's 2 passes away. That's Rufflin and Jorstad, the 2 big number 8s meeting each other in contact there, and he looks to counter ruck again. Oh, that's a fantastic piece of play by Rufflin, upsetting ball there. But Schweitzer picks it up. He's very athletic, 10, and brings us right back up to the same game line that we were at before. Weber looks to get himself involved. Fink gives the ball wide to Soup. And again, just a slightly slow run. Oh, and
he's
Fink
taking
looks
a quick.
to go quick.
He's up the middle.
Fantastic
Should
show
have
on
the
that
advantage.
fullback, but might have the advantage there for not back 10. Great clean out there. Oh, that's a big carry from Ryan Walls. Ball goes to Gilcovey, playing in that first receiver, and steps off the legs and look at the offload.
The ref says play on.
Play on.
Advantage Utah.
I think with so much going on, the ref just said, just let them play. I'm not too sure what's happening here.
There we go, State, there we go.
Goff gets his hand on the ball, and really good ball placement. Slowing it down slightly there.
I've just got one observation here. Just watching the body language of these State players, it looks like their game plan is taking its toll. The guys are getting a little bit tired out there. They can slow it down now, and use that wind. But like I said, it's that treaty they signed before the game that neither team want to kick the ball out of hand today.
That is true. I think there was a little bit of a meeting of minds But they are 4 points ahead with the wind on their back. What would your suggestion be as a halfback player and a game manager as well?
I'd be looking for positioning of the fullback. You know, if he's out of place, you want to put the ball, you know, try and find grass and let it roll and get your forwards running forward. You know, give them a little bit of a breather. They've been brilliant all day.
That's Weber finally looking to exit there. I think he's just broken the treaty. Fink with the ball in hand. Gives it out wide to big Jacob Zinda. And again, we're back in the half of the Utah Utes. They really haven't had the territory here in this second half, haven't they? It's probably to do with the wind, but again, that's Jonathan Raby there gets his hands on the ball.
Distribution on these kids.
And a good ruck. Again, that's Ruffin there, just really upsetting the breakdown. That's kind of the second one he's done. The first one he came in with the feet. This time he grabs the 9. That's Weber, the 10, looking to get involved. Oh, but he's pinged for a high tackle. It wasn't even a tackle. It looked a little bit more like a wrestle, really, didn't it?
Yeah, it looks like they had a little bit of a personal vendetta there. Lupien trying to get another fend away. It's all good. Like they say, every tackle's personal. It's one-on-one.
Barker just comes off the edge of the boot, and you two are going to leave it, and that's a big relief of pressure there. That really is with the first period of play in the second half for Utah. There, they haven't got out of their own half. That really would have killed them there. A line out in their 22. That's a big point, a big turning point for these boys now if they can get into the San Diego State half.
Suicidal. He should have put that out. You know, given his forwards a little break, walk to the line out, regroup. And possibly go to the maul there and make the Utah forwards work even more.
So the San Diego State coaching staff must have heard you, and they've brought on Curtis Schmidt there, number 23, to come in at hooker. Just give the big boys a rest, get them off the pitch.
Oh, it's another pick from
Big Ruffin with the pick and the fend as well, and he drops his body height. Really good ball carrier. And it's the back rower has to get there. Goes through Weber to Goff. Oh, with a great offload. That's again, it seems to be for Utah when they get two of their game breakers on the ball within the same set at the same phase. They're going forward. That's 3 offloads in a row.
They need patience now.
Oh, it looks like it's a knock there at the end. Again, that's just when you run the risk of getting those offloads, those second offload, that third offload, that something just might not go to hand and you get a knock. But it is the first time that they've had a bit of territory in this second half.
Yeah, fantastic interplay there. And I mean, that just goes to show he should have, you know, put that penalty out. Scrum there, Rufflin quick off the back. State blindside loose forwards, just way out of it there.
So with the exit here, a couple of options. They could just... Do you think just tap it out into touch and give Utah back the ball and defend, or should they go deep with the wind on their backs and look to maybe defend a little bit further up the pitch?
Depending on the stability of the scrum, I'd say just you want to exit right away.
Just tap it out straight into touch and
just
slow
get
it down.
Just get it as far close to the halfway as you possibly can, and not put it just out. Put it in row Z so that they can't take a quick throw in, because like you've seen. These boys are here to play.
Both teams look to play the ball pretty quick. The scrum's a little bit of a messy one. Comes back to Barkham a little bit high. And again, he puts a high one, which is going to be fielded by our winger here. And he's maybe going to pull it back inside to fullback. Has a little go himself. Oh, ball's up in the air. First knock to a second knock. Just a little bit of a calamitous play. It might came off just of the swinging hand of the tackler, but the ball went about 6-7 feet in the air, and it could have been picked up by Jonathan Raby there.
Yeah, I mean, look on the positive side here. They've made a 25-meter net gain, so they get another chance to exit. Let's see if they do it again.
That is true. Would you have backed Jonathan Raby to go all the way to the house with a 70-meter run there, a back rower?
I think so.
You think so? Yeah. He's a big lad.
These forwards are mobile out here. Some great athletes, and that's bears testament to the conditioning staff of both teams.
I think so, yeah. Jorstad will pick it up from the base, brings it back to... Oh, it's Ari Flink on the ball. He steps off his left foot. Will he go around Weber and offloads back on the inside to Zinda, who's cut his line off the wing. Again, the ball comes a little bit deep with just a prop in the way there. Oh, that's someone putting their body on the line. That's the It's the second row, number 5 there, Beals, just absolutely diving on a grenade there, trying to win the ball back for Utah. Both of these sides really just going at it now, putting everything on the line, isn't it? It's cup rugby, it's knockout rugby. There's only probably 20 minutes left of these boys of their season.
Yeah, it looks like a little bit of nerves are finally kicking into this game opposed to the first 20 minutes. Looks like they're getting a little bit nervous in the last 20. You know, they need to make some really stable decisions here and make sure the execution of the passes are a lot better.
Little dummy switch from Weber, and he taps it back on the inside there. It's Papunu with the big carry.
It's a good strike.
It is a slow ruck. Oh, Ruffin with the little tap on.
Loose ball picked up by State.
Loosed up. It's Austin Schweitzer. Will he look to hold on to the ball? Probably a good decision from him there. San Diego State again. He's carrying that thing like a loaf of bread, looking for the offload.
What a great
Fink
first receiver.
in, steps off the left foot, and he's gone through. Does he have the toe to go the whole way? Puts a little hitch kick on the step of the fullback. Oh, it's both out. It's Lupin with the try. Gets the offload away. Fantastic step off the left foot from the man with the toe, Ari Fink. That's the second of the day for Lupin. It will be Lupin who gets the plaudits. I know Ari Fink had the big break, but it's the impetus to follow those kind of breaks, isn't it?
Absolutely. You know, great follow up by Lupin. Well deserved try. He's been busy all day, but mate, what a break from Flink. You know, he's been exciting all day. I see a lot of Damien McKenzie counter attacking him, looking to have a go from anywhere, and mate, what a step.
Damien McKenzie or Barrett, he did get a yellow card today, both players. So, you know, either one.
Ari looks like a great team man. Very popular teammate amongst the reserve bench here.
Amongst the boys, yeah, there seems to be some sort of a laugh going on with Ari here as he celebrates with his mates. So yeah,
a couple of inside jokes. You know,
he seems like a little bit of a vibrant boy. Yeah. That's 33 points to 24 now with the conversion to come. Is this game with the wind in their faces just stretching that little bit further away from Utah?
You'd like to think so.
Can he bring it around? It's just gone to the outside post there. So it is 33-24.
You'd like to think so, but it's been a pretty bizarre game all around. So
yeah.
We don't know what we in for in the last 20.
So off this restart here, what's the call here for Utah? Should they put it deep, try to get a little bit of territory and upset the Rooks? Or
I think they need to get their hands on the ball as soon as possible. They need to get possession. I wouldn't put it too deep. I'd put it really short. They got some tall timber here.
He does. That's exactly what he does. It is contestable ball. Oh, great take from Walls there. And let's see if they can get an exit.
And State not looking to exit again.
Kevin McGlone with the carry. Comes to Schweitzer. Will he drop it onto the boot? No, he won't. Goes to Barkham. Flicks it on again to Fink. Does he have the toe to go a second time? Pops it back into the inside. And that's Barkham. This guy's got some wheels. Can he pop it in the corner? It's Weber chasing. Absolutely fantastic finish. That's the length of the pitch. And here we are up in the commentary booth saying they should exit when they've gone the length of the pitch. Charlie, eat your words, mate.
Mate, I'm exhausted watching this. I don't know how tired the boys are on the field, but you know, this wide-to-wide play by State has, you know, they've really been rewarded, and it's not easy. It's not easy to defend that. You know, so credit to State for sticking to the game plan and you know, trying to run Utah's big forwards off their feet.
Now we just talked 20-30 seconds ago about the game stretching that ever so further away from Utah. Is it a little bit out of reach now? It's 38-24. I'll write it down for you there, Charlie.
You'd think so. I think if Utah can get the ball in hand and bully them up front, you know, with their backbone of the team, which is obviously that tight five and some big loose forwards, you know, they could claw their way back in.
Do you think these are the kind of times in games where the travelling team will start to suffer that kind of 65-minute point to 60 point, where you have been travelling? You know, even though if you've been there the night before or you've travelled a couple of days before, it still takes its toll, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I'm looking at the body language here, and Utah don't seem too tired anyway. I don't know what these kids are, what they're putting in their water these days, but they still seem raring to go.
And likewise with the San Diego State team, boy, they look very relaxed back in their own half, just having a chat. Really look like they're enjoying their rugby, don't they?
Absolutely. Once again, Flink. What a break. Champagne rugby.
So he's been one of your favourites to watch so far. Give me on both sides just a couple of the guys that have impressed you so far with Utah.
I've enjoyed the halfbacks. The halfbacks have been, nice and in control.
That's Hoff and Weber there, yeah.
Rufflin has obviously been a standout.
Yeah, I think Rufflin and Goff really have done a great job for this Utah pack. That's Kevin McGlone with the carry there.
Yep.
And they're starting to get yards there, but it is a turnover there. Just ball doesn't go to hand. That's big number 5.
He's away. He's away.
That's a big man Beals. He can't be stopped. And he's gone to the bottom of the post.
That's a try.
And that is a try. He does not need to get that over the line. Once he's tapped that ball to the bottom of the post, it is a try. This has become, like we said in the first half, an absolute shootout, hasn't it?
Oh my God. Exhausted.
38-29.
That's a very
Myself
very
and
mobile
Charlie.
lock there.
Yeah, we're tired in the boot just looking at this, aren't we? Yeah.
And what a comeback from Utah. Like I said, their body language was good. They kept their chins up. But they're not out of it.
And that's just come from just a little bit of looking after the pill there at that went in the tackle zone.
Yeah.
Ball just bobbled a little bit, and it's gone straight after that to Beals. And in fairness, fantastic individual effort, but again, it comes from retaining your own ball, doesn't it?
Absolutely. They need way more accuracy at the breakdown there. They can't cough up ball so easily.
And restart from Barkham goes deep. That's probably a sensible option, play in their half. It is 38-29. We're just outside the Utah 22. Comes back to Weber. He brings it wide. Oh, lovely step off the right-hand foot. But it's Lupien with a great little scrag tackle there. Probably made the wrong option, but it's just athleticism managed to get it back.
He's still on his feet.
He's still on his feet.
Excellent.
That's a great try, but it is popped up again. That's Wardock there, steps off the right. Weber with the attempt to tackle again. That's
Brilliant
two great
feet.
steps. Can this guy go all the way? That's a pop to touchdown, and Barker brings it in. There's been some absolutely crazy passages of play, but that one probably is nearly up there. I think we had a 30-meter carry from a Utah player. Ball gets popped up, and again a 20-meter carry from the San Diego State scrum half of all people.
Absolute bizarre. Ruck and run rugby. It's great to watch. Coaches must be tearing their hairs out.
Oh, they go deep. That's a
great
that's
option.
a very interesting option. Yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it.
They go short side.
Pops it back on the short side.
Take him out! Take him out!
That's a great carry there from Meyer there in the back row. Himself and Rufflin have just done such a good job going forward for this Utah team. And if you have a look, they're just hanging a little bit extra sooner on that short side, just trying to hold players in. They're going to go wide now.
Oh.
Lovely step.
Tackle low! Take him out!
Have they retained ball? Yes, they have. That's some great show of athleticism from the Utah backs there. And that brings us up to about the 10-meter line. And Weber looked to get his hands on the ball again. Brings it just a single pass, now the double pass. That's Meyer there on the outside then again. And our back rowers are back into play. Rufflin's just hanging here next phase. And he will get his hands on the ball. Yeah, there's no way that big man's given. He's looking to drive forward.
Good carry, committing 3 tacklers every
Off
time.
there, pops it back to Weber. He'll again look to use Meyer. He's getting through so much work there. And he split the pitch there in the middle, and Weber again gets his hands on the ball for a second phase in a row. It's a little tap back in the inside there from the centres. But it's good D from San Diego State for 3 phases where they haven't gone forward. That's Malafu there with a fantastic carry from the big man. There's, again, maybe a little bit of tiredness here from this San Diego State pack. They've ran all day, they've attacked, they've defended, and now it's just a little critical area. Weber's looked to spin it. They do have a little bit of numbers. Ruffin, and it goes out the back. They do have a couple of backs. That's Goff with a great transfer.
It's backwards.
Oh, it's held in play. Oh, there's a pop back into Goff.
Let the boys play, Mr.
But
Ref.
it is, he did say it, it's a knock.
Let's go, Aztecs.
That's Jackson there.
Very marginal call there by the
It
ref.
was a
That could have
good
gone either way.
transfer pass across his body from Goff there. Maybe Jackson could have held his depth just a little bit more. I know it's gone behind him, and Goff probably should have had a look, but those are the kind of marginal areas where you have to get the ball away in those quick seconds.
Yeah, I'd just like to mention the unsung hero for Utah is Mayer at
Let's
blindside
go,
flank.
State.
And he's been busy all day.
He has.
Doing the hard yards.
Three carries in the last set of phases there.
Flowing locks. And a great moustache to
yeah,
to go
phenomenal
with
stash must be mentioned.
It's a short arm. No one seems to be interested to go quick this time.
Going to break down for a free kick. Yeah, everyone looks a little bit goosed right now. But the captain comes in. The captain comes in, says reset that scrum, and the front rowers look as if he's just
Keep scrumming, boys.
Stole his lunch money. Yeah. It's all right for the backs. They can just chill, put their hands on the hips.
Absolutely.
I'm pretty used to it myself, Charlie.
Absolutely. There's some great hairstyles out the back here. Very impressed. The barbers out here in San Diego have been doing a fantastic job. Hats off to them.
Hats off to the barbers of San Diego.
OB Barbershop.
Big up from the base there from McGlone this time.
State committing a lot to that breakdown.
Ward up that goes 9 to 10 to 12.
Excellent pass.
All the way to 13 to Danger Man Lupin. And now it's fleet-footed Ari Fink on the outside. Steps off his right and does get yards in contact. So we're just inside the 22 now. Comes back to Schweitzer.
Go, Kurt!
Taps it to big Curtis Schmidt, who has a great carry. Very direct play, which is something that...
Oh, Mayer exhausted there, not rolling away. I think he's taking a knock to the head, to be honest.
I think at this stage, with San Diego State just rolling forward, the game kind of slipping away, it probably is a time where you do go for those 50-50 turnovers, isn't it?
Absolutely,
Come on, Harry.
he had to go for that one.
Yeah, it is going to be guys like Mayer, like Rufflin, like Goff that are, if they can, turn this game around and get a poach for the boys, yeah?
Yeah, it seems like the boys are finally getting tired. The kids are ready for bed.
The kids are finally getting tired. Yeah, fantastic show of collegiate sport here from all these boys today. It is at the moment 38 to 29 with a penalty to come from Barkham, who has kicked very well today. I think he's only missed 2.
Yeah, excellent distribution off the back of that scrum by firstly the halfbacks and then the outside backs. It's testament to the coaches putting emphasis on the catch pass and the basic skills of the game. And that takes the score to
Do the maths there for us, Charlie.
Mate, I can't read your handwriting.
41 to 29. I apologise for my co-commentator, Charlie Purden. Not good with the maths, but he is a fantastic rugby player, I'll tell you that.
That's a short kickoff.
Weber with a quick
Excellent
tip-off,
contest, and
it
Utah
is
won
one
it.
back for Utah. Weber gets his hands on the ball again, steps off his right foot and taps it just back, but looks like it's an offside penalty. And Weber goes quick, has Goff on his outside, doesn't use him. Goff gets in there, gets his hands on the ball now from the offload from the deck. And Hoff here brings it back to Weber again.
Oh,
Tap
nice
at the
inside
inside of
pass.
the second row, doesn't go to hand, and Saladin will look to use it. Just a little tap on there from Gil Covey, nearly goes to hand, but they have recovered it.
My favourite player today.
And I'll ask you this, are they going to look to exit now, or are they going to look to play ball?
Oh. Yeah, it's been very unpredictable calling what kind of decisions the boys are going to make off the set piece today.
I don't think we can really call it anymore, to be honest. It's 41 to 29 now, so that's a 12-point lead. So you would think that they'd maybe put the boot to ball.
Yeah, I'd try and find some grass down the right corner. I think the wind's died down a bit, but let the ball roll. Get your kick chase lines up,
Ball gets put on the outside. Fink.
and he's gonna run it.
Oh, he goes
Oh,
around.
another
Weber! He's through here. Just one man to beat. Puts it on the boot. Esmat Warnock. It's the 9 with
a
a
race.
chase here. Oh, great speed from the Utah covering back. That's
Oh,
number
excellent
11
bit of
there.
defense.
Molstein showing some serious toe there to get back and recover ball. But again, just that little tap on the foot will count
It's
as
turned
a,
over.
There you
Oh,
go.
it's a penalty. Just that little tap on the foot, though, you can count that as an exit. Just bringing the ball up the right-hand side, dropping it on the boot, and turning their backs. It's a great
Absolutely.
play from Fink there.
Absolutely, that was
Meyer there looking to get them rolling.
an 80 meter exit, so to
An
speak.
80-meter gain, yeah. Weber gets his hands on the ball. Not too many options. Floats it over the outside. Has a little step off the right-hand foot, but Nick Lupien's hunting well on the inside there. Stripped by Barkham, but it looks like it was a tackle already, so they're going to come back. Goff takes this quick. It's the big man trying to get these boys rolling again. Weber taps it on the inside to a second hold. That's a big hit coming in there from McClone. We come to the outside.
Let's go.
Meyer
Stay.
gets skipped, and it comes to the.
Oh!
That's a fantastic hit there. As we go to deck, we're trying to get the registration plate of the truck that hit the Utah player there. I can't see. It might have been Jacob Zinda, was it?
It was.
Zinda,
It was.
Zinda, the big winger with the big hit.
Had excellent timing on that hit. Wrapped the arms. I hope he did.
That's Malafu with the big carry. He's had some good carries today already, looking to get them going. Along with Meyer, along with Rufflin, along with Goff, this pack has just performed so well. Just a little dink back to turn their back. And it is go. Oh, tries to get his hands on it. It's a double knock.
Back for the penalty.
Or come back for the penalty. Just with the advantage, that's probably a good option there. They weren't going forward. Maybe try something, maybe something drastic in the last few minutes here, try to get a score.
Yeah, that was. Weber's been a pretty smart player all day. He's directed his forwards around the field really well, and good decision there.
Yeah.
Just back on that hit, by Zinda. What a great time
What a
of
great
the
time
game
to
to
do
put
it.
such a
Yeah,
hit, in front of
exactly,
in front of the home crowd, G's the boys up, and
Meyer stands with his pod here as he receives the ball and just as a tap to the outside, but he's met
He's caught.
furiously with Walls there in a great launch. But Meyer, realising his error, tries to get his hands back on the ball. And we'll go again just here on the left-hand side. There's minimal numbers here. If they went, they could probably go getting the outside of Barkham and Lupien. And I think Weber has recognised that, and he's going to try to get his hands on the ball now. The winger comes up. Gonzalez enters the line. It's one ball. Goff faced with a one-on-one challenge.
Ball's out.
ball's been stripped.
Keep it close.
Oh,
Oh, that'll be a penalty now. You cannot throw the ball straight into touch. It's not the NRL. This is not the West Tigers. So, yeah, it'll give Utah another chance to use it.
Stay.
great defense. Boys are just not working. They're tackling the ball, so to speak.
And they've got time for a line out. So Weber's going to nudge it in here now. And maybe have an opportunity to get a try on the board for these boys.
Like we said, very impressed with the Utah captain, Goff.
Yeah.
Boy's got tree trunks for legs.
go,
Absolute
boys.
poles,
Big
and
man Goff has
and
his
he
hands
can
on the
move.
ball.
Brilliant
There's a
line
little
out.
short one back to Meyer. And a big ball carry. The pill's gone up in the air, but it's Meyer puts it out the back there to Rufflin. That's the three kind of danger men in the pack there, combining there. Weber looks to spin it wide. Malafu. We're at the halfway line now, and it is probably the last defensive set here for San Diego State. The penalty comes in again. Maybe no need to go the hands of the ruck at this stage.
Oh, and that's another yellow card.
Oh, that's a yellow.
Ref is not scared of pulling out the custard.
Comes to Weber. Tap back on the inside to Goff. Oh, again, it looks like it was going to be a knock, but he tapped it back. That's a lovely, fantastic piece of skill there. Again, the State looking to get over the ball, but may not be needed. And again, he's going to get the penalty for diving over the top. They could probably do with just leaving the rucks here for the moment. There's tired bodies in the Utah team. Mistakes will happen.
Yeah.
All they maybe have to do is just defend a few defensive sets and leave the rucks alone, yeah?
Yeah, I think the reserve players are just trying to get their
Very good.
get a sweat in.
Very good point, Charlie. Yeah, you want to come
Boys
on,
are-
you want to make an impact.
Boys are very eager to get a touch on the ball.
Weber puts it
Oh,
to
excellent
Goff,
behind
and
the back
that's
pass.
Meyer now. Oh, puts the foot down and tries to get that offload through contact. He's had such a tireless work rate in the game, and that's the win for San Diego State. And you can see what it means to these boys now. Fantastic win at home in front of a good crowd. Final score 41-29. They'll go on and take on the national #1 ranked St. Mary's now in the next round. Overall, fantastic game of rugby you've seen, Charlie, yeah?
Absolutely. What a great spectacle. I think bit of a rugby delicacy out here today in San Diego. Credit must go to the Utah team. I thought they were fantastic. Massive backbone up front, and congrats on a brilliant season. I thought they were awesome today.
And your man of the match decision for the game?
Oh, on the spot. I'm going to give it to Ari Flink. I thought that second half he was brilliant. Despite the yellow card, I think at the right moments he stepped up and made breaks when it counted. In saying that, I think Nick Lupien had a brilliant game. Tate of San Diego State was brilliant. And on the Utah side, Rufflin had an awesome game, as well as the big number 5, Beals.
Fantastic. So that is your Nike Rugby Camp's man of the match, Ari Fink. Charlie, thanks for joining me in the booth. That's 41-29 final score. Thanks for joining us here at San Diego State for a fantastic game of rugby. Enjoy your Easter weekend.